Hello everyone! How is everyone today? Sorry for the delay. Had a little bit of a situation here in Jockey Studios home. Hey Mark D, Wraith Dancer, how you doing guys? A little bit of a situation. My dog decided to run away out of the house and go down in the creek and have fun. So my stepson darted after him, and we just needed to give him a bath because he was in horrible filth. Anyways, yeah, so we're here. My name is OJ, if you don't already know. I am Brush Jockey, your Brush Jockey here at Jockey Studios. You can tell I'm kind of frazzled because this is just starting here. So I'm just gonna turn my speakers down. Everybody can hear the music. Awesome. So today's Finish Dat mini segment is gonna be actually a mini of my own. When I got the model, I assembled her and put her in put her together and kind of did a few things. Sounds like my dog is being a weirdo again. But yeah, so this is the model that we're gonna do. I have a couple of things, a couple of ideas. So I'm gonna show you guys what the model itself looks like. So let's see here. Just do a quick view here. Let me show you my monitor capture. So this is the model itself, the original like box art. Smoking, yeah, she's a good-looking model. So this is the box art, and I've been struggling probably like a year and a half now. I've had the model for about a year and a half to 2 years. I've been struggling with either keeping the clothing white or going with like a black patent leather, like a shiny plastic, you know, like the shiny rubber, almost like a shiny leather. And I think I've made my decision. I think I'm gonna go with the shiny leather here. Going to do it and getting that done. So essentially what I'm going to be doing here is taking this white and doing it with a black kind of thing. Now what I've done is I'm actually going to just use the same image. Let me just turn this off here. So you'll notice that when I'm looking at the model here right now, in the light as it is, you can see the reflections on the model. Okay, and that's just because it's just plain, yeah, latex. That's it. That's the color. That's the shine I'm looking for. Latex. On the model itself, you can see that there's like reflections on the thing. So what I did was I actually just used the actual. I'm just going to use the actual image that I have here, that I took of her to show the announcement. So I have this. Let me just show this back here. So I have this image of the model, and you can really see the really great like reflections of the model itself. So what I'm going to do is I am going to zoom this out, and I'm going to see where all these reflections are, and essentially that's how I'm going to paint that latex. Now, something I am going to do though is I am going to keep the red piece of armor that she has and the gray kind of filaments, or the rivets here. So I'm going to use it like a gray, almost like a turquoise gray, but the armor is going to be red, but her actual like bodysuit or skirt is going to be like a latex. So this is the first time I'm actually going to be trying latex. So we're going to test it out. We're going to go ahead and just kind of use that model as the starting point. okay, to see where that is. So let's get started. In taking a look at it, colors that I'm going to need. I'm going to need some whites, obviously, to be able to make my grays. I'm going to need some blacks to be able to shade them back in. So I'm going to use like a pure Arctic white and maybe even a rotten white to kind of get an off-white on there. Actually, no, I'm just going to use the rotten white. I'm going to need a black in here. So where's my Vallejo black? I got one in here. There we go. I'm going to use my Model Air. Okay, and then I'm gonna need some like effects for the actual environment itself, right? Because like a shine like that, or even like a non-metallic metal, will have like the environment in it. Now I have like a base, a special base for her that I haven't put together, and somewhere in my array of hobby stuff. But essentially, the base is this girl here. So let me show you here. Show this back up here. So we're gonna go into shop. When we go to accessories, we go to bases. This is the base right here that I have. Now I think the idea is I'm going to keep some of the metallics around there, but I want to put some lights down in the bottom here so that you know, it looks like it's a lit up area. So with the greens and whatnot, I'm going to kind of keep that around in my idea of what I need to have. So I'm going to get a couple of greens to be able to apply some colors. So I'm going to go with a Warp Lightning from the contrast color, just because it's going to be very translucent, so I can see through it. And I think that's what I'm going to start with. I think that's the best thing I can do, and we're going to go ahead and get that going. Okay, so when we're looking at the model, let's you know, get old man OJ to you know, with my plus 2.5 tiara of True Sight. All right, so we're gonna get in and we're gonna take a look at. Actually, you know what? I could just block this out really quickly. So I'm gonna put some colors down on my palette here, and I'm actually gonna start. I'm gonna start by doing this. I know that I'm gonna have a really big transition, so I'm gonna put a couple of colors here. So that's white. This is gonna be white, 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 black. White, white, black. So I'm essentially just putting my dots down, right? And my white, I'll probably be able to add that more. This is going to be white, black, okay? Then this is going to be black, black, white, right? Black, 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 white, and then just black. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm just making my number of drops that I'm kind of applying here, right? So I said that this was going to be my white, 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 black. This is my white, white, black. This is my white, black. This is white, black, black, white, black, black, black. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just making my gradient, okay? And getting some water here. Okay, so this is simple white, black. This is the gray that gets made. More color. Okay, this is white, black, black. And I'm not worried about them touching each other, because I want that gradient. I'm going to want to be able to mix it in. So this guy. Yes, I think more white than anticipated on that one. So I'm just going to put another drop of black in here because I want it to be darker. Right, and then I'm going to do just black over here. Essentially, I'm just kind of making that gradient. Okay, same thing will go over here. So this color here looks like it's a little bit darker. So essentially, what I want, this is cool, but I can't help but think of the B movie when he's picking a new sweater, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, oh, black, and yellow. Yeah, mix it up a bit. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice. Anyways. But yes, so same thing. I'm just going my gradient, right? Pure white, and then kind of bringing that in and mixing it so that it gets that gradient right across. All right, so what I've done essentially on my palette is I've created that gradient. Now, as I mentioned, and my puppy dog is really upset because he was wet when he went into his crate. But anyways, Mark D, thank you very much for the DJ service again. All right, so what I'm doing here now is I'm going to essentially with like a mid-tone gray, and I'm just using like a regular brush here. I'm finding the areas, and I can kind of see you know, when I'm looking at the model, it's very similar to what my picture is, right? But as I'm just kind of like laying this out and just kind of blocking it out where I want those highlights, right? And I'm doing it with a very thin color, right? I want it right around in here as well on this side. And I'm not being very detailed. I'm just kind of putting them in where I know those highlights are going to be, right? Because I'm going to come around and clean them up a little bit. All right, but remember, I also have my armor that comes around that's red as well, right? So the armor is this piece back here, so I'm not worrying too much about that. I'm just getting her clothing done here. So some highlights there, some highlights on this side. All right. Now, what's I only have the one picture on the one angle, but as I'm doing this, as I'm kind of coming around, I can also see where those highlights are happening on the model as I'm looking at it, right? So I'm just kind of, oh, that's going to be the red part, so I'm not worrying too much about that. But then as I come around to the back, I can see that right here is going to be a highlight, right here. Essentially, all I'm doing is just blocking out where I know those highlights are going to be. That's all going to be the red armor. Okay, so there we go. So I've kind of got that area blocked out. Now, this is where my inexperience with doing shiny stuff with a non-metallic is going to come into play. So I'm going to essentially just start creating my blends, right? And ooh, I keep on hitting my camera. Sorry guys. That's my tiara that's doing that. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to kind of get my next layer up, and I'm just going to kind of blend it in. So essentially, I'm going to try and get that blend from one side to the other, right? Because that highlight is the highest highlight of all, right? It's the highest highlight of all. Oh. But you know, ideally, what I want to do is I want to get like a nice gradient for all of the model, right? So essentially, I'm just kind of coming in, getting my darker colors, right? Bringing my brush so that the darker colors now end when I'm putting the brush, right? Where my brush is. I don't want that to be too much. And I'm going to just gradually get that darker and darker. And then I'll come back up with the white with a lot more kind of intention. But essentially, what I'm doing is I'm starting this gradient from from the standpoint of what the grays look like. And slowly but surely getting darker and darker. I'm gonna look at my D&D minis and let you know if I find one for you to paint and finish that mini. Absolutely, buddy. I like doing the different genres of models, just because it breaks it up a little bit, and I'm not just working on the 40K stuff. Although I like the 40K stuff, but I like, I wanna be a little bit versatile in what I'm doing. Now the purpose of this here is that gradient, right? So I'm not worried about hitting those hard shines right now. The hard shines are gonna come. I just want my gradient to be from black to white. And I have to remember that I need to let my paint dry. Ah, my hair! It's in the way! Alright, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I changed my angle of my camera, so there we go. Let's try this. Is that better? That's better. See, I'm kind of sticking around my darker color right now. I probably shouldn't. I probably should be just gradually increasing this. I'm doing this, I think I'm doing it way too fast here. So now I'm just using my little picture as a reference here of where those colors are. Again, that first initial color was to kind of get a sense of where things needed to be, right? Just to block out. Cut your hair, hippie. Yeah, I know, right? Mark, are you working on your D&D? Yeah. So what do you guys? Sorry, guys. My whole frazzledness. The beginning of the stream. What are you guys working on today? What's everybody working on? And also, Mark, if you did implement that idea of mine with your recurring character, I'm curious how that initial interaction went with them. It'd be super cool to hear. So I'm just using a fairly large brush right now to kind of get my general size. I'm probably gonna, after this layer here, I'm gonna start going down to a smaller brush. Still working on the recurring campaign one. Cool. Alright, so time to go down to a smaller brush. One with a fairly nice belly. I'm gonna try the Kolinsky Masterclass from the Army Painter. These guys are pretty good. And we'll start getting a little bit more grays. Alright, so let's get you in there, and essentially I'm just putting some lines. Yeah, this brush sucks. I'm actually gonna try my Artist Loft stuff. Let's try her out. See how my Artist Lofts do. You play Pathfinder 3.5 edition. Cool. How was everybody's week? Mine was bonkers. Work at Cambridge College, local community college here in Sudbury, Ontario. Most of you probably already know, but yeah, it was a bonkers week. Just trying to figure out where these lights are coming from here. Dang. Super, super cool. So I'm going to lay down my gray here. Come in, put a little bit more of my white. I'm right out of the frame. Sorry, Jezebel. Hey, Jezebel, how are you? Long time no see. I think you joined the stream last week. Sorry, not long time no see. Just how you doing? I'm taking a stab at my first kind of attempt at latex, and it's I think I just need to be more patient with it. I think the blends need to come in, and you let them dry a little bit more. But nice to see you on the stream. I got something probably new to you is this is what I call everybody makes fun of me if you can see. I put my glasses up and they say, oh, it looks like a tiara. So we call this is my +2 tiara of true sight, because they're actually my glasses. Call them my old man glasses. Fun times. Alright, I need to let that dry. Been working like a dog. That's not fun. Hopefully you've been carving some time out for at least some hobby stuff. Here and there a little bit, maybe. I was told that latex is very similar to like a non-metallic metal, where you need to have your patience and wits about you while you're doing it. I'm starting to believe that now. Yeah, so we got this guy here. So this is gonna come in and around like this. This artist loft brush is not great. Yeah, working hard, back to school, selling lots of stuff. At Best Buy, yeah. I bet Best Buy has been pumping this this past week. All right, back to my trusty old medium-sized artificer brush here. The belly size of it is great, and it works a little better, I think. Yeah, I've been working hard. You're welcome to play 3.5 or Pathfinder anytime. I can let you know, Wraith Dancer. Yeah, I've been selling lots of laptops and printers and accessories, and it's pretty bad when you're the warehouse guy, but you're on the floor selling stuff. It's been busy. That's that's pretty crazy when, if you're the warehouse guy, you're on the floor selling. This is where my patience really falters, I think, in this this style of painting. You know, I need it to be a gradient, so I'm trying to force it to be a gradient from one light color to the dark color, but I'm not letting things dry in between. That's okay. It will come. It will come. I promise it will come. You too, OJ, if you want to play D&D, let me know. Yeah, I would love to, Mark. My schedule just does not allow for it. If I ever freeze up, though, I will definitely let you know. I love... Are you looking for just anybody to join, or, you know, people that you kind of know a little bit? Because I could probably put some feelers out of people who might be interested if you want. Slowly but surely, this is coming along, actually. It's not horrible. Got a couple of things in the way. I built the model all in one. I should have not put her samurai swords on. That's okay. She's coming. Let's see how. Let's get a little bit wider here. Wider up here, lighter. Also, I want it to be So what are you here working on today, Jezebel? Through the roots. Yeah, my hair. I know. You know what, guys? Here. We're going to do this. Bear with me. We're making an adjustment. Transformers. There, as I come in now, takes me a little longer. There we go. All right. That direction of your paintbrush is key here. I'm really noticing that if I'm putting my brush strokes down, that you know, I'm getting a little peak of white or lighter color that I don't necessarily want. Gonna have to put my tiara on. Looks good, OJ, from what I can see through the roots. I see no Nurgle emoji, stupid Twitch. Hurry up. Yeah, I know. Yeah, let me see my emojis here if I got one. My emoji, yeah, my emoji is not set up already. It's like a little green splatter. just like your sub badge Wraith Dancer. I'll look into it this week as well to see. But alright, I need to get into a smaller brush here. I really need to. What song was it that you requested? It was the current song audio library. Let's do this. Spite by Zayfall. Was that you? Song request. Oh, song. Sorry. Song request all needs to be all one word, Mark. That's probably why. It's just showing the current numbers. Alright. Nope, that's why. There we go. Let's get that over here. Bam. We'll do this here. Punk. There we go. Daft Punk. Nice one. That's a good one. Alright, so let's see if I can get this going. I think I'm gonna get out some black ink and some white ink. So something that's really cool about inks is that it already has a shiny property to it. And that's where I'm gonna essentially kind of top off or finish off these colors. My +2 is getting into this frame, but you guys still see the model, right? Yep, that's what I used to paint my Ravenwing Landspeeder, so I use black ink to add sheen. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's what you're going for. It's good. It's a good practice. Alright, so that's kind of coming across a little bit. It's a little bit too gray here. too light, too bright here. So I'm just kind of trying to darken this up with just the pure black. And then this over here, it's more so, not that it's too white, it's just that I have a little bit of a fade that I need a little bit of a gradient that I need to start. And then also up in here. There we go. And the same thing goes over here. Just want that feathered in. That's kind of cool. But then I need to... Good view. Awesome. Cool. So you're going to be gaming Monday, OJ, or are you busy? I am gaming, but I won't be at the EA store. I have a buddy coming over and gaming at my place. Yeah. I will be in on Thursday at the store, though. I'll be probably playing... Song of Fire and Ice. So essentially what I'm doing right now is the actual little lip of her skirt here. I'm just kind of getting the highlight of that as well. Out of frame, I know. Ah, she fell off the base. Essentially, I'm just kind of getting that white on the edge of that there. And I'll come back in and clean it up with some black. So, essentially, what I'm doing is getting the highlight. And then coming in, getting the black line of the rim here. But also cleaning up the edge. Okay. I'm wondering if I should do the... Nice. Nah, you're in frame. Cool. I'm wondering if I actually should do the inks. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a glossy finish on it so that it kind of does the gloss. But then it's actually going to take the natural light and not... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I should do. Alright, let's get some... I want to make sure that the black that I'm having is I didn't mix it too much. Still a little deeper even than the current black that I'm using. Well, it looks that way anyways when it's being applied. So it's just kind of getting the darkest of dark areas here. Brush isn't the greatest either. Was hoping to swing by the Nook Monday. Go to the bank first though, get some things sorted. It's fun watching you figure this out. We wouldn't have a clue. Yeah, I want to get a game in soon, 40k wise. Cool. Still got my army list. Nice. Yeah, why don't you guys figure something out? But as far as picking up your model, Mark, I could probably have it on Thursday for you if you want to swing by, if you're able to swing by, or if you're at work, I can swing by your place by work, and I'm gonna try something here. Just gotta try it. I'm doing Black Templar. This is the this is the contrast paint. We're kind of getting it in. We're gonna try this out. This is part of her stocking. The stocking is part of this piece here that I'm doing, right? So I'm not going to worry about that because that's going to be like a teal color. Something great about the contrast paints is that when you're using them, you can thin them down and essentially get to the colors that you want without having to blend too much. Or you can use them as blend, which I'm essentially doing here. I'm kind of blending. So I want this here to be white. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this black here. I'm just blending. So there we go. I put my black Templar down because it's still wet. Get my white down and essentially blend it nicely. Right, gives it that blend is so much easier to do with just the contrast paints. And I need to go a little bit higher color, just get that color in. Right, so it's essentially just transitioning. The blending properties of the contrast paints are just spectacular. They really are. So essentially I'm just putting that black Templar down, come in and get some lighter colors where I want it to be lighter. Just touch it in where I want it to be, clean my brush, and blend. And when I want that little pop of white, I get the little pop of white where I want it. When you in Thursday? You work till 4:30? Okay. I'll probably be at the shop at around. I normally get there around 6 o'clock. Let's touch base that day. I might be able to drop it off during the day for you, Mark D. If that's cool. I'll drop it off at work. I'll take a break and come out and get it to you. Yeah, I'm actually digging the blending properties here. Here I am, I was racking my brain about how I was gonna get some blending done, but looks like just by using a little bit of contrast paint as the base color for that blend, getting what I want. So there we go. So it's coming along. Yeah, we'll touch base. That sounds good, man. Alright, so this is this dark color that comes over here. And this a little bit. Alright, and what's super cool about that contrast paint also is that you can clean up your corners and your black lines super easy. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get this piece here now done. Put my contrast paint down. What's nice is that little gray area still kind of stays in there. I'm gonna put my a little bit of white, and then I'm just gonna blend. Gonna let that dry. And the pieces that I just want that little touch of white, just sharp, sharp white, just putting it in where I want it. It's all right. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this. Got some great song requests again today. I'm going through an electronica kind of genre. I like it. It's one of my favorite genres. Okay, so there we go. So then again, we're just gonna kind of blend in. Darker color here. Just gonna feather that in a little bit. Again, patience. Absolute virtue here. Yeah, techno house mood kind of day. But the next one is some Tom Jones. Tom Jones. Very cool. Lamb, lamb. Alright. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, guys. However. Alright, just so I can. There we go. Alright, the idea around what I'm doing here now is, again, just the ridge of her suit here. I don't want to take away from so essentially I'm just kind of doing like an edge highlight almost. Now, unfortunately, I'm getting it right into the recess, which I don't want. I'm going to come back and clean that up. Right. I'm gonna let that. I gotta let it dry. So essentially, I'm just kind of putting in like lighter colors where I want it to be lighter. Right, and just kind of doing a gradient on the zipper almost, right? So it's like a gray, and then I want a little bit lighter up here. So just kind of show some of the contours of her stomach, of her midriff here. Also like being like a gray tone that's not super black. Patience, grasshopper. This is super cool. Tom Jones. All right. What's nice is what I'm using is so thin. It doesn't take long to dry. All right, bear with me here. You're gonna see my head. I gotta get this. Wrong spot. Yeah, they did it wrong spot. All right, so next plate here. Do the bottom of the plate with that gray. Clean and blend. Alright, let's clean this up here. Let's clean up my mess. So there we go. You can kind of see. It's kind of hard. Let me zoom in again here for you guys. Kind of see that I got my layers kind of going. Coming along. The no wonder that people take forever to do things that are painting for competitions and stuff. Man, oh man. It's coming along. I think so. I'm gonna clean up. I gotta put up a little bit more. I I didn't do it really well. I kind of put it on, but then I kind of painted it off, but it's kind of... highlights for this guy here, and then the cleanup in between. What's cool is right there also there's the clip for her stocking, so I'm gonna put that as like a metallic color. Yeah, it's getting the look. It's starting, eh? It takes forever. It really does. I thought, here I am, you know, thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be like really easy. I'll be able to do this in like an hour and get this whole model done. Yeah, that's not the case. Alright. There's that side. Let's see what we got down here. What do down here? Got the highlight right in the center here. G-Spock, hey buddy, how's you going? Welcome to the stream today. Got some... trying to do some funky latex for the first time ever. And I'm not sure how it's going. These guys say, oh yeah, it's working, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm gonna start laying down some of that red armor that I want. So I'm gonna do... Actually, you know what? No, I better finish. I'm gonna finish the gray. I gotta finish this gray, because otherwise I'm gonna be like coming back, not wanting to come back to it. Alright. Let's get back my old man tiara of +1 true sight. Actually, the blends on this side are already pretty good. I'm not gonna worry too much. I'm just gonna get the deep and dark recesses of where I need this to be. taking a look, I do need to do a couple of things here. Something I think that'll actually have to apply over here as well. Just a little wee bit. Not lots, but there's little folds, little creases in her skirt. You can see, like, it's hard to see, like right in here, there's some creases, like as if her skirt is kind of bunching up. So I need to capture that. So I'm just going to do it with some really light grays. Layers and layers. Really, really thin coats. Model is just, the paint is so shiny already. It's just make sure that that's captured. For every highlight has a low light. So I'm not I don't want those lines to overpower the model, right? Because otherwise it's gonna be like right there. Ah, yes, look good. Hey, +2. Yes. So, is she to a game or just a display? This is actually just a display model from the Luxumbria line. Luxumbria, she came in, like the scale of her is large, but she does have a model in the line as well. It's O Yoroi Kido Butai Pilot. This is the 75mm version, but she also came in the 25mm version. Nope, it's not Joan. This is just one of the extra models that came in. What happened here? I put paint there. I shouldn't have put paint there. On her butt. That's okay. Nope, this is a O Yoroi Kido Butai Pilot. Kido Butai Pilot. Alright. That's pretty good, I think, on that side. Okay, coming around to this side. My blends really went well already here, so I'm not worrying too much. I'm just going to get a couple little major highlights here. And just kind of finish off the lowlights. Alright, highlights just on the Yeah, it's a gorgeous model. I got the Kickstarter, and she's been sitting in this state for about a year and a half. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna do a finish that mini segment of one of your own minis. So here I am doing my own mini. Here. So now I'm just going to get back in here with some of the black. Just kind of get into my low lights. Low lights or shadows, whatever you want to call them. Then again, I do have to come back in, get my highlight on that little rim of her dress. I'm starting to get where I need to go here. Top part of where the little shines are. I can also do this rim a different color. I've chosen not to. Well, I think her. Oh no, I gotta get her right side over here. Okay, so there's a line right here where I'm painting. This here part is gonna be red. I'm gonna try and should I do that like a non-metallic red? Are you keeping the scabbards black? No, I'm gonna be doing them probably a different color. I have a I'm probably gonna do them like a almost like a Space Wolf gray. I only want her skirt to be like a latex kind of look. Okay, same thing is going to go over here. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm just putting down some contrast paint and then coming in with my highlight, putting it where I want it to be. Then, with the contrast paint being still wet there, just doing a nice blend. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, it's more so just on this side over here. All right. Kind of blends a little bit more though, so I'm just gonna try and blend. All right, I'm gonna do a couple of things as well. I'm just gonna get darker colors where I know there's gonna be darker colors. Gonna get some of my black lines in. There we go. Alright, so I think this is going to really come to life as I start putting all of the colors around it. And I might be able, I'll be touching up things as well, but let's start off with that red. So, oh, I forgot an area. My bad, my bad. Her little collar up here. The strap. Okay. Do this here with nice little light lines. Again, the model is, the paint is just so shiny. I think I'm just gonna put a coat of matte varnish on. All right, so let's get that red on that armor. So I'm starting with a crimson, nice dark red. Latex is shiny. I know it's shiny, but I'm trying to make the paint show the shiny effect, not actually make it so that the shiny effect is the shiny effect. Because you can see with this angle, it looks pretty good. But when you start doing this angle, all of the other, like the actual light, real life light is making it like shine in other areas other than what my paint is. So it's not really ideal to what I'm trying to get there. All right, so let's lay down some of this. Crimson red. So it's not that I can't use the light. The idea around it is that I want my paint to do it, right? So that's so what people do when they're doing like non-metallic metals and stuff like that. And non-metallic metals is like making things look like they're metal without using metallic paint. So like all the shiny, like it looks like a nice reflection of whatever it is that they're doing. That typically has a matte varnish put on over top of it. so that the real life light doesn't interfere with what you're trying to depict on the actual model. I know, it's weird, but alright, so these pieces here, I'm gonna have blue light to kind of like be a nice real contrast, so like a light blue. So essentially I'm just kind of putting down my base coat for my red armor here. I'm okay to get it into the areas where I don't want it to, other than on the leather. I'm worried. Is good purple. This is like a crimson, yeah. So I want the armor to be a red, so I'm laying down a dark color of red before I start putting any of my highlights down. So a lot of times people will, like, and I used to do this as well. I used to always, I used to always lay down like a dark brown for my red tones, or I would put down like my red, like a Mephiston red, and then I would wash it with like an Aragax Earthshade. So I've been using some different techniques with reds lately. I've been using like this crimson color. It's almost like a purple. It's almost like a Warlock purple, but it gives that nice deep tone of red, and it's a red tone already, right? My eyes are broken. Well, it looks like a burgundy-ish dark purple. I know it's gonna be red, but yeah. This is actually a burgundy color, like it's called a crimson. The name of it is crimson from Vallejo, but it is a purple. It's got mostly a red tone in it, but that's the reason why. It's just because I don't want it to be like a dark brown tone, because what happens is as I start layering my reds on, it ends up being muddy, right? It's not as vibrant of a color when I do it that way. So it's just my preference. I'm just trying out different ways of doing things. It's what we're here for, learning together. I'm just trying to put it down so that it's armor here, eh? So this is armor right to here, armor. I'm thinking about painting this demon creature. Any advice on the color of skin tones? I was thinking reddish. It's base black right now, and now a flat black. I got some ideas for sure. How big is this demon? Is it a big model? Or just a regular one? I know you said you don't have an airbrush, but big enough, a large base. Okay, so like the size of a dreadnought. Yeah, a little smaller, but close. Okay, cool. Do you have white primer at home? Like in a rattle can? I painted her hair. This is such a gorgeous model. No, but can get some. So here's my thought. Okay. Here's my advice for you. You're going to take your model. It's already primed black. Take a white rattle can of spray paint at about 8 to 12 inches away. Hit the top of the model. Just go so that it's like misting down. Okay, so go like back and forth. And essentially what that's going to do is it's going to cast a shadow. It's going to be white on top with all of your undertones. Very much like my zenithal highlights I do for most of my models. You can see them. I have one like this guy here. But you're not going to do it this much. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you can take your red tones and like paint the skin that way. So then all the dark tones underneath will stay dark, right? So even if you use like a translucent red, like a voluptuous pink with a citadel color, thin it down a little bit and try and get like a wide brush and lay it down in an even coat, very much like you did your Land Raider. But you're not worrying about getting a consistent color. You want it to be super transparent. So then what'll happen is those whites on the top will get reddish, the darks on the bottom will stay dark, and if you need to, do another coat after it's dry. So that might get a nice red tone to give your colors. All right, I'm gonna go to a larger brush here. Just seems like it's taking forever to get this color down. Yeah, no problem, Mark D. Alright, let's get this down. That's too thin. I thinned it down too much. Or I just have too much paint on my brush. Yeah, I think that was the case. Alright, I'm going to do more than one coat of this because I want it to be very, very, like, nice opaque color, right? I probably have to do 3 coats of this guy. It's not covering really well over the black. And I'll need to do some touch-ups of her skin as well. This skin color that I chose was a little bit pinker than I want it to be actually right now. So I'll probably be making some changes. So we didn't hear what you were working on today, Wraith Dancer? Or G-Spock? Garrett? Alright, there we go. Next up, reds. Alright, let's see what we got for reds. Okay, we're going to Gentle Blood. Go Devil Red, I think, is the next color. Oh no, we're gonna go Sanctuary Red. Actually, we'll do Devil Red, then Sanctuary Red. I think then we're gonna highlight with like a Fire Flame. These colors here, so essentially get that darker tone. Just chilling with a bit of cleanup. Been a long week. Still got a lot of Poxwalkers to finish. Yeah, that's fair. There's lots of Poxwalkers in the world. Right now, just painting some old Infinity, waiting for the store's GW order. Nice. I guess you're still waiting on your, I guess your, oh geez, Avatar? Yeah, and order some more things. Cool. And I just put together some intercessors together now. Got to paint them. Intercessors are good. Those are some good additions to your Dark Angels. That'll be great for battalions. This color seems to be covering a little bit more evenly, which I'm happy about. Through the roots, I know, through the roots. That's good tune. Red covering black is probably the next most patient thing that you need to do. It's layer after layer after layer. Unless you want to rush it and gum up all your details. It's just a matter of being really, really, really patient. And what I'll do is I'll do her gloves in latex as well, but I knew that I was going to be hitting it with all these reds, so I figured, you know what, I was going to do this first and then I'll do the latex after. First most patient color that you need to have is the color yellow. When you're painting the color yellow over the color black, I mean. Grr, hate yellow. Drives me nuts. Yeah, yellow is something that I'll typically always want to paint with an airbrush or lay down a coat of white before I start it. Now, I didn't want to put white down on this because I want the actual armor to have a darker tone to it, right? I want the original armor to be like a darker tone as opposed to like a super bright I want it to have a nice contrast, but so I'm going from the dark red up to the brighter red. So I'm just essentially taking my time with it. Getting a nice flat color of red down first and then hit my highlights. And this is getting started. I'm pretty close to being at like that dark red that I want. Hello, just dip and drip, then you can, yeah. Yeah. Imperial Fists are pretty hard. I would do a white color, and you know what, the contrast paints are super cool for that now too, right? Coming back to the airbrush, if you put a black color down or a dark color brown, like a dark brown, zenithal highlight with your wraith bone or your gracier, so that it's only on the top, like that gradient that I was telling you about, Mark, and then spray the yellow. It like does a nice gradient from the dark, from the white, like the really light color, to the brown. It's pretty neat. It really is. Let's do this again. Layer number 4. I'm looking at this this model from afar right now, being able to do this. I can, because the pieces are large enough. But when I'm taking a look at my gradient now, or when I look at the model, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do these gradients or details without my tiara of true sight. It really makes so much of a difference. Yellows look so good, but the brush strokes show a lot more, and if you rush the coats, it looks like you just threw paint on it. Yep, I was trying to paint Bad Moon's army of orcs, and yeah, regretted it. Absolutely. Even with the white base coat, you really need to do super light coats and multiples of them. I'm actually getting into a problem right here with this red, is that I put too much down on this little piece. Fortunate enough, the paint is thin enough I can clean it up and get it to be a consistent color. But yeah, you need to have patience when you're using a brush. It's the biggest thing. Especially with funky bad colors like that. This red seems to be taking forever. That's because it is. Welcome to Brush Jockey Studios, where we paint red all day. I paint yellow by not painting yellow. Yeah, that's a good one. I paint yellow by using an airbrush. And even with an airbrush, I lay down a white coat of white spray paint, or a white base coat with an airbrush, and then lay down the yellow. That's my trick. Gives a nice smooth color. But that's the only way I do it. If I'm doing a large amount of the color. Right. If I'm doing just a little bit, I'll use a brush, but I'll put a white color down first and then have the yellow come on, just so I can ensure that the color that I want is actually yellow. Which I'm kind of regretting that I didn't do with this here, but I think it's going to be okay, because again, I wanted this to be a darker tone red, like the nice contrast from a dark red to a light red. So, we can go down to a smaller brush here. All right, so this is where I'm going to try a little bit different here. I am going to use my Everland Sunset, which is a yellow base coat. Where's my yellow base Everland Sunset? There it is. Okay, so again, kind of back to the principle of lay down a light color to paint over top of it. So this is Everland Sunset. It's a base coat from Citadel. Love the base coats because they cover so nicely. But what I'm doing here, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put the base coat on the flat panels of this red armor now, leaving the red part. Red, this is got a really weird end on it here right now. So essentially, everybody see? Settle up the guns. This is an interesting Thunderstruck. So I'm just going to try it on one panel here just to see how this goes. So just this guy here. Okay. Does swearing count if you can't understand the language in terms of music? I'm good. You can go ahead and play some explicit stuff if you want. My priority is your enjoyment. And let's face it, I know that there's no like under 12-year-olds watching the stream right now, so not worrying about it. There we go. That's the color red I'm looking for. See how it's coming? And that'll come out even brighter, right? So I'm gonna go in and do exactly that. Lay down my Overland Sunset where I need it and or want it. Haha, I'm just looking for random music. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, the red is gonna be, I think, pretty cool. Alright, so here we go. I'm just gonna kind of hit those areas that I want. Nice. So Garrett, are you going to be? Is Kate going to be getting involved in the world of 40K with you? So much 40K. Yeah. Also, what Infinity models are you painting today? You said that you're working on Infinity. Yeah, kind of fitting that. You know, I'm painting a Infinity-based model. I have to clean that up a little bit. Out of screen, I know. That Russian beat on loops or something. Just an ultra. Jeez. Dang it, I can't even do it. Look at this. I need these. Not worrying too much about it getting super smooth with the yellow here like this. Reason being the red is what I want it to be, right? But it's important to make sure get it as smooth as you can, not like big differences, right? But again, probably just gonna do 2 coats of this yellow. Nice. So much 40K. There we go. Cult Mechanicus. Sorry, OJ. I'll stop messing with the tunes. Kind of killing the paint vibe, I don't think. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't mind. If you feel like you want to listen to some, that's cool. It's definitely interesting. Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so now that that base is down, again, it's not very smooth, but what it should do, and we're gonna do this. I'm gonna zoom out so I can paint up close like this. Essentially, what it does is it gets a nice smooth paint, smooth color on my red, or at least smoother. I think my patience is starting to wane with these guys, with this thing. It's not coming across the way I want it to. I have to do one panel at a time, and I'm being patience. It's coming across though, at least. It's kind of the red is coming, and I think at this point here, this is where I'm gonna switch over to doing one panel at a time. Just kind of getting my gradients done because I want it to have a shadow, right? I want it to have a nice shade from one tone to the next. And I want it to be super saturated, and that's why I've decided to do this, so that the red is nice and vibrant. But now it's time to go and get those. My Jodam just isn't working the way I want. I'm going to start over. Yeah, I wish I didn't have so much invested in this part already, the armor. I probably would want to start over. Might have actually put in that white to get the vibrant color. I definitely would have, like this, I started this model long before I even started doing any zenithal highlights. But definitely feeling it. Definitely feeling the red right now. So I'm not feeling the red. And it might turn out differently. It might feel differently when I'm like putting in some washes and shades on each of the, or you know, just doing like the gradient from one to the next, from one panel to the next, I mean. It's looking pretty good, but like the red color is coming across nicely. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe because it's taking so long on this color. Right? I still need to come across with more red on here, right? So that's right. I'm gonna let that red dry. I'm gonna come back to it. I think she's really starting to pop. Yeah, she's really starting to come across. Like the red is making that where I did all the actual like colors of her latex really come and look proper. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna actually make my do all my little rivets here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to paint them gray. I'm getting right into the recesses. I'm going to make this as even as possible, this gray. Debating What do you guys think? The boots. Do you think the boots should also be latex? Or like an armor? Because I could do like some armor plating, but like the rest of it like a latex. I don't know. Mortal painting, finish it. I think she's really starting to pop. Best Metroid version ever. Agreed. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, go ahead and type in whether you feel I should put her part of her boots as being latex as well. Which I'm not opposed to. I don't mind doing the boots in a latex color. I'm just coming back and putting another layer down because I want this to be really opaque. Latex mix armor. Yeah, latex be cool. Okay, so latex and then the plating like these guys here. See, like there's plates and stuff, like on her knee pads and stuff. I'll make those like the red armor plate. Sound cool? Latex mix armor it is. Okay, I think my color is where I want it to be. Gotta let it dry. The part up on their top part here as well. I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. Yeah. See if I can get into it. Let's see where this is. Missed the mold line when I was cleaning her. Yep, no problem. My eighth dancer, we'll see you shortly. I think I might pop off her swords. Nope. Not going to. I don't want to risk it. Painted too much around them already. I can't do it. I'm gonna ruin it. I don't know what this is, but it's a thing, not the link I was looking for. Oh, looking for a link, a better link to. Gotcha, to the music. Thought you meant link to the stream. Alright, so here is where some of my color theory is going to come into play. So the reason, or you can kind of see it as well, like in the red and the green hair, right? So I decided to go with like a turquoise color hair, and that's what I started with. And the reason I decided to go with the red armor was because the armor, red and green, are complementary colors, right? And because the turquoise is like a bluish green, it actually ends up being really nicely, it nicely complements each other. So I'm going to do the same, almost the same thing with her nylons here. I'm going to make it like a bluish aqua blue. I'm actually going to be using like a contrast color for it. In this case here, Griff Charger blue. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm washing this with Griff Charger blue so that it gets the recesses in, and then I'm going to come back and highlight just the edges of the nylons so that you know, where those lights would be, it's going to be popping a little bit more. So here we go. This is the application of that. Right. Griff Charger blue is one of those transparent contrast paints. Getting me the exact effect that I want it to be. Right, so essentially nice turquoise, kind of aqua blue. Which ties in with the hair, but also contrasts with the red armor. And it'll be a nice contrast even on the plates of the armor. On the legs that I'll do. So one of the reasons why I chose to go with the red was that. Just so you know. That's cool, man. Yeah, it is. I was looking for the Tetris theme. Oh, okay. And there it is. I have to be super careful up here because I've already painted her skirt. I'm probably just gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup here as well later. There we go. All right, I do need to take a quick little break, a little bathroom snack break. So I am going to put up a 5 to 10 minute break time. I will be right back. This is going to give some time for this to dry. I'll come in and be able to highlight that, and I'll start doing some more of the armor plates and whatnot as well. So we will see you very shortly in 5 to 10 minutes. And we're back. How is everybody doing? Hope you had a good break. I did. Had some lunch real quick. Welcome back, Mr. Wraith Dancer. Alright, so with this here, what I'm doing is I'm essentially just going to do the highlights on this these stockings, essentially. I'm just gonna do like a little kind of edge highlight. So that only the edges of the it's done. And if I need to, I'll go back in. So actually, this is a tough one. And now what I'll do is I'll come back in with that Griff Charger Gray. Woot woot, Mark. Welcome back. I'm glad you guys are still here. Alright, so now I'm just coming in and putting this color down, this Griff Charger Gray, specifically just in the recesses now. Because I have my highlight done, right? I want just my recesses now. And it'll kind of deepen the stuff, the color from before. Allowing my kind of shadows in there to be a little bit more. And makes it pop a little bit more. There we go. And then I'll come in with just the white on just specific areas now. So I'll just kind of get this a little bit wet here. Now just with my white. And I'm just kind of getting the highest edges of where that would be the case. Right. Kind of highlighting where I need to, getting those edges. Okay. And then I'm going to clean up all the way around as well. Okay, so also what I'm going to do is I'm also going to lay down the color for the strap that I have here, right? So I have this color, this strap, and there's a piece on top of here as well that kind of connects. It's like a little clip. So I'm going to use this strap. I'm going to put this as a different color than my latex, because my latex is going to be all of this part, right? and this part here. But these guys here are going to be those armor plates. The boot itself is going to be like a latex with a gray outside on the sole. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I think I'm actually going to do something a little bit different here as well, because I've changed my mind on something looking at this right now. Decided that I've decided that my rim of the dress here, the skirt, is actually gray. It's just gonna give a nice cut, and I'll just shade it very much like I did the zipper. The zipper itself looks gray, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the rim of the skirt. It makes it kind of consistent. In fact, oh yeah, the hamster dance. That's awesome. The hamster dance is actually one of my favorite tunes. The reason being is a few years back, I used to work. Oh, I still work at Cambridge College, but I used to work in the marketing department at Cambridge College, and I felt like I was in a hamster race. You know, like a hamster wheel, kind of working all the time, not getting anywhere. But on Fridays, what I would do is, with my coworkers, I would play this song, and we would dance to it. So that's essentially, this is my Friday song. So super cool. Oh, geez. What great memories. This is also going to be good, I think, for the overall look of the model as well, because it just kind of breaks it up a little bit. Gives a nice clear line, clear distinction. I mean, it's not like you needed it, but at least it does. kind of really breaks it up. You can see. A Friday song, you say, not that much of a punk, lol. I'm going to have the song in my head now. Haha. Good thing I only picked the 3-minute one and then a 10-hour version. Yeah, that. Thank you, right answer. Yeah, it separates it a little bit more, right? And you know, I'm gonna do a couple more little kind of highlights here just to kind of really get the edge of it, but go. And then get my black Templar just to make that black line nice, and because I got a couple of things right in the black line where it's supposed to be, right there. All right, so let's try this red again. Okay, so I got my Sanctuary red here. I'm gonna put this red here. It's a little bit lighter. But I think I'm gonna do a little bit of blending on some of these panels, right? So first and foremost, I want there to be some shadows. So I'm gonna come in with my crimson here. And put it where I want that shadow. So essentially on the bottom of this, breast right here. Then I'm gonna take my fire one, because I want this to be on the top, right? And then I want to kind of blend into the two. So I want this to be in the middle. So let's see what I got here. Thin up that. Yeah, it's going to. What is it going to? I don't know what it's going to. Going too dark, in my opinion. Yeah, I want that yellow instead of the red. Any It fans? It 2 coming out soon. Yeah, It 2 is out actually right now. It's my wife's birthday weekend, right? So like she's turning, her birthday's on Monday. So because we both work on Monday, what we had decided was we were gonna celebrate her her birthday last night. So we did, and I'm not an It fan, but It 2 was playing in the theater. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. I think I need to thin these out. This is definitely a little bit too... Alright, so let's go yellow at the top. And then the red at the bottom, but I want it all. I guess it's just like a... Cool, happy birthday, haha, never seen them, found an IT song, an It song, doesn't sound good though. Doesn't sound too good. Yeah, sure, I'll pass along the birthday wishes to my wife, boys, thanks. Try something a little bit different. Got a chalice red here, which is even darker, like a purple. Yeah, I saw the original It back in like 1980 something or other, because my sisters forced me to watch it, and I had nasty nightmares for months. I refused to watch the current one, like the last one, I guess a couple years ago it released. Title Man! How you doing, buddy? This is an Infinity character. It's a what's it called? Oyoroi pilot. So essentially, it's from the Luxumbria line of models. Luxumbria is essentially the Forge world of Infinity. So Corvus Belli is the manufacturer of the Infinity line of models. Luxumbria is like specialty busts and character models for that line. What have you been up to this fine Sunday afternoon? I'm just in here painting along, getting some nice colors on these panels of her armor. Going out for some dinner, relaxing, nice. Where about you going? My wife and I, we went to the keg last night. As I was telling these guys, it's my wife's birthday. We did her celebration last night. Super cool. Actually, you know what? Doing this panel by panel is really helping me feel a lot better about this model. I was having some really hard times thinking about this model and finishing it when I was doing the last round of red. I was really regretting painting it on stream, but right now I'm feeling really good about it. Love nightmares. I mean, not when it's happening, but after remembering the dream. It's like my own personal horror movie. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's a cool way of thinking about it. Me, I just get creeped the F out. Alright, this is going to be my last panel here, boys and girls. I need to bring my stepson across town, essentially. Want to get this nice color down. Right on the edge. And then the cleanup. Go in and get the this is where that chalice red really helps. Getting right in between those gapes. Also getting right in that. Right in that little hole there. Just that edge around here. Alright, there we go, guys. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying the way in which the color is popping. The red, especially. Happy about that. Yeah, I mean, it's really starting to come along. I'm liking the red that pops out of there. I think what I'll do is, you know, I'll paint her every once in a while online. I don't want to wait too long, though. I don't want to get my mojo down because I'm feeling good about it. So I'll probably end up painting a little bit this week. If I do, paint some off stream, but essentially get in there. I'm really happy with how my grays, you know, the colors on the latex came in, right? So if I were to take away any of the lights here, you can still see that, like, what's showing right now is only the paint. There's no actual shine from other sources. So that's just the paint that shows like that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. You know, sorry for being a couple minutes late at the beginning. You know, unfortunately, dogs decide to go and run into the streams and chase ducks and get full of mud and have fun with that. So thank you all for joining me here today. Thanks to everyone. Big thank you to my patrons, TBMC Irvin, TBMC Kevin, and I know Wraith Dancer is still a great supporter of mine. So so thank you so much for anybody. If you are interested in helping support the channel, underneath you'll see a link to a Patreon account where you can pledge as little as I think $3 a month to help out in giving me things to paint as well as things to give away. Speaking of, we didn't touch on this young lady today, but we will finish her off this week and have her very, very shortly as a giveaway on the channel. So thanks for everyone for joining me. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great Sunday afternoon.